Here we go, rhombuses. Now, if you guys check out this rhombus, it's what you call inscribed in a rectangle. Okay, and so the first thing says right here, it says draw diagonals. Draw both diagonals of the rhombus. Actually, it doesn't say of the rhombus, but it should say of the rhombus. Say of the rhombus. Okay, so when I draw diagonals of the rhombus, it looks like this. And then it says label them. Now, labeling these diagonals is kind of difficult because if you put a D sub 1 right here, that's the first thing you're supposed to label it, you don't know that this is supposed to be for the whole line. It actually kind of looks like it's just for half the line, but it shouldn't be. It should be for the whole line. So we're going to go outside the figure and draw this right here to help us see that this is D sub 1. And this right here is D sub 2. Okay? Alright, so what is the area of this rectangle? You guys look at this rectangle, what is the area of it? Write your answer in terms of the diagonals. So that's D sub 1 and D sub 2. What's the area of this rectangle? That's right. You just have to go D sub 1 times D sub 2. Okay, you just multiply the base. In this case, the base is the D sub 1 and the height, which is D sub 2. What is the area of the rhombus? Okay, now this becomes a little more difficult. You guys want to take a guess? No. Guess. What's the area of this rhombus? Come on, somebody was able to guess it last time.
45.
You think it's, what, 45? There's no numbers on this. You can't say 45. Yeah.
Is it D1 times D2? I mean, not times, plus D2.
Now you're just trying to, like, remember a formula. Don't do that. Look at this. The area of this rectangle is D1 times D2. Now, the area of the rhombus, is that bigger or smaller than the area of the rectangle? Or, yeah, the rectangle. It's smaller. Is it slightly smaller? Is it a third of it? Is it a fourth of it? Half of it? That's what you guys think? Does it seriously look like a half? It kind of does look like a half. And I think there's a fast way to figure it out. Let's see. Let's see if we can see it really quick. Actually, I can't see it really quick, but I do know of a way we can figure this out. If we can figure out the area of just one of these rectangles, I mean, there's a bunch of rectangles. Let's just pick this one right here. You can pick any one you want. If I can find the area of this one rectangle, which I believe I can, because isn't this 1/2 of D sub 1? Is it? This line right here, it's half of D sub 1, and this is right here 1/2 of D sub 2. Because we know those two, would we be able to find those two sides? Would we be able to find the area of this rectangle? 1/2 of D sub 1, 1/2 of D sub 2. Can we find the area of that rectangle? Or, I'm sorry, not rectangle, triangle? How? How do you find the area of a triangle? No. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. What's my base for this triangle right here? It's 1/2 D1. Okay, so I go say equals 1/2 times 1/2 of D sub 1. And then what's my height? 1/2 D sub 2. Okay, so I go 1/2 D sub 2. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Now if I multiply all this stuff together, let's see, I get 1/4 D sub 1, and then I have to multiply that times 1/2 of D sub 2. 1/4 times 1/2 would be 1/8 D sub D, or sorry, 1/8 times D sub 1 times D sub 2. Cool. Now that's just this one triangle. That's the area of this one triangle. If I wanted to find the area of this whole rhombus, what would I have to do with that area? Multiply by what? 4. Why would you do that? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these triangles, right? So there's 4 triangles inside of this rhombus. So I have to multiply this by 4 to find the area of this rhombus. So I'm going to take that guy and multiply by 4. Let's see, 1/8, D1, D2, and I'm going to multiply that by 4. I put that over 1 because I see a fraction right here. And if I go 1 times 4 and then 8 times 1, that would be 4/8. You guys know what 4/8 simplifies to? 4/8 simplifies to 1/2. Isn't that what we got right here?
Yeah.
Cool. Looks like this is the formula to find the area of a rhombus. That's kind of neat. So if you had a rhombus with diagonals of 22 and 31, what is the area of the rhombus? So we have 1/2, and we'll go 22 times 31. 1/2 times 22. I love multiplying the 1/2 to even numbers because they're easy to split up. So I multiply that times 22, I get 11. 11 times 31, I'm going to have to write that one out here. 31 and 11, it's going to be 1, 3, and that's going to be 1, 3 again. Okay, so it's 1, 3, no, 4, 3. So 341, what is it? Millimeters? Millimeters squared. That is the area of this rhombus that, this thing's talking about. Okay, so here's another rhombus. They only give us, yeah, no, you guys sound weird when you say it. Okay, they only give us this measurement and this measurement. How are we going to find the area? I mean, we know that the formula to find the area. The formula to find the area of a rhombus is 1/2 times one diagonal times the other diagonal. And so here's one diagonal right here, and here's one diagonal right here. Do we know the lengths of any of those diagonals?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
That one.
The longer one? Don't say that one.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that this side is also 4 because the diagonals of a rhombus cut each other in half. They bisect each other. So one of these diagonals. Okay, so we know one of the diagonals. We have 1/2, and that diagonal is 8. Now, how am I going to figure out this other one? It's not there. I don't know one of the sides, but I knew that this is a right triangle. You guys know the Pythagorean theorem? Of course you do. And we have a 5 and a 4. That's actually a Pythagorean triple. But just in case you don't know what a Pythagorean triple is, we can set up the Pythagorean theorem to be 5 squared equals 4 squared plus, we'll call it x squared. So this will be x right here. So that's 16 and that's 25. When I subtract 16 from both sides, it's 9 equals x squared, which means x is going to be 3. So it's not x anymore. We're going to put a 3 right there. So what's the length of our other diagonal? Yeah, so we have another 3 right there. Other diagonal is 6. Where did my parenthesis go? Okay, so now I just have to multiply all these together, and I find my answer. So 1/2 times 8 is 4, and I have to multiply it times 6. We get 24, and we don't have any other units, and so I'll just write units squared. It doesn't give us a measurement.